So for my final 10%, I decided that I would use slope, powers, and negative and positive numbers. So we're going to start with slope. So for slope, you need to find y1, x1, y2, and x2. So I started out with line A and B for the first graph. So in order to find y1, y goes vertically. So I need to see where the dot lines up vertically, and that's on 10, so I know that y1 is 10. Find x1, x goes horizontally, so I have to see where it lines up horizontally, and that's at -2. I now have to do the exact same thing for line B. So again, y goes vertically, so it lines up at -4, and x goes horizontally, and that lines up again at -2. The formula for this is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I now need to input my variables, so that would be -4 minus 10 over -2 minus -2. -4 minus 10 is -14, and -2 minus -2 is 0. Since both x's are -2, this means that I can't make an equation with this because it's undetermined. The slope is undetermined. So this means that I just have to put x equals -2, as that's what both variables are. So this is my final answer. We're now moving on to the second graph, where I chose F and D as my plots. Just like on the other side, we have to find y1 and y2, x1 and x2. So again, y goes vertically, so I know that y1 is 6, and x goes horizontally, which means that's 9. Now we have to do the exact same thing for line D. So vertically, it goes up 4, and horizontally, it goes over -8. Again, the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I have to then put in my variables, which would be 4 minus 6 over -8 minus 9, which gives me -2 over -17. That should say negative, but it doesn't. So since they're both negative, I can turn that into both positive because both negatives cancel each other out. This formula is y equals ax plus b. The a means slope, which is what we just found as 2 over 17. I now have to put in my slope in the spot of a, so 2 over 17x plus b. Then I have to put in my y and x variables, which will be y1 and x1. So it'll say 6 equals 2 over 17 times 9 plus b. This will give me the answer of 18 over 153, but I can simplify that again to 2 over 17. I now have to write out the equation of 6 equals 2 over 17 plus b. We now have to get b alone, so we have to turn this into a mixed fraction. So 5/17 over 17 is equal to 6. So we have to subtract the 2 from above the 17 to get 5/15 over 17. Again, the 2 that we are subtracting is from the numerator of the past equation. So this shows us that 5/15 over 17 equals b. This means that our equation would be y equals 2 over 17 x plus 5/15 over 17. So as you can see, this is our final answer. With this next one, we will be working with powers. The dot in between the numbers means multiplication. Our first power is 5 to the power of 2. The answer to this is 25 because it's just 5 times 5. Our next one is 2 to the power of 5. The answer to this one is 32. Our next one is 2 to the power of 4. and the answer to this is 16. Our final power is 5 to the power of 6, and this is a way bigger number at 15,625. So when you multiply all of these together, you should get a final answer of 200 million. This next one is super simple. I just need to multiply two numbers to get negative 16 and add the same two to get negative 6. I know that in order to get a negative number after multiplication, I need one positive and one negative. I also know that 2 times 8 equals 16. Now what if I make that 8 negative? Then the 16 would also become negative. Now if I want to get negative 6, I could just add 2 plus negative 8 to get 6, and that's the end of my answer. This equation is as easy as that, and the only two numbers I needed were 2 and negative 8.